I could be the one who saved you from this pain. We could be as one and we'll escape. We could run away, we don't gotta stay. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Take away the pain, we can go insane. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Burns inside me. Burns inside me. Burns inside me. I won't let you down. I think that I'm going to hiding somewhere by a gated star. Baby, they ain't never gonna find me. I'm a renegade. I could be the one who saved you from this place. We could be as one and we'll escape. We could run away, we don't gotta stay. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Take away the pain, we can go insane. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Burns inside me. Burns inside me. Burns inside me. yourself, going to a place that's far, staring at the stars for hours, 'cause you're a renegade. I could be the one who saved you from this heartbreak. We could be as one and we'll escape. We could run away, we don't gotta stay. I can feel it, it burns inside. Take away the pain, we can go insane. I can feel it, it burns inside. We can run away, we don't gotta stay. I can feel it, it burns inside. Take away the pain, we can go insane. Trust me, I won't let you down. I won't let you down. Yeah, I won't let you down. 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 I won't let you down.
Let's get some sun, baby, it's time to go. All we need to put on is the radio. I can feel the heat is rising, and that beat is hypnotizing. Oh, no, we run the show. Let's get loud, come on, lose control. Got to live or we get too old. Come on, shine, shine a little tonight. Let's get loud, come on, lose control. Ain't no limit when we go for gold. We can shine, shine a little tonight. Shine a little tonight. Shine a little Let's hit the club, time to make a move, we got it late, ain't got nothing to prove, I can feel the heat is rising, and that beat is hypnotizing. Oh, no, we run the show. Let's get loud, come on, lose control. Got to live or we get too old. Come on, shine, shine a little tonight. Let's get loud, come on, lose control. Ain't no limit while we go for gold. We can shine, shine a little tonight. Shine a little
Hey everybody, happy Thursday and welcome to this episode of Keeping It Real with the Hombre. I hope you guys are having a great week. Things have been really good this week. Things have been really crazy this week, super busy. So let's go over some of the stuff that's been happening here. First of all, we have the blind extra añejo French oak extra añejo challenge coming up tomorrow. That's all consists of viewers and actually basically members of the YouTube channel. So if you're a member of the YouTube channel, watch the videos when I announce we're going to do a blind challenge. If you message me on Instagram and say that you want to participate, you can be picked to be one of our panel members. So we have three panel members, and myself that will be doing this blind challenge. Of course, I don't participate in the challenge. I don't try to influence the panel members at all. Instead, I basically administer the challenge and try to get information, extract information from them, and get them to tell us what they're tasting and stuff. And then they select which ones are best. And then we disclose which ones they are. They have no idea what is in any of the sample bottles they got. They're just labeled 1 through 4. And I've got some good stuff that went out with this one. So we're gonna have some fun with this blind challenge. So make sure you free up tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's gonna be on Instagram since some of our participants are not super tech savvy. So I don't want to confuse them with trying to bring them onto YouTube. So instead we're gonna do Instagram where it's easy. And then all of you guys can watch, and we can bring all 3 of them on at the same time and not have to do it through YouTube. And then also I can enjoy a good stogie while we're doing it, since I'm not really participating in the challenge myself, but just more administrating. So make sure tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 Eastern, on Instagram. You check it out. It's going to be fun. We'd love to have you come and comment and ask questions of the panelists, and we'll have some fun doing that. So yesterday I put up the review of the Montegave Añejo, and if you saw the review, you saw what my reaction was to this. Yeah, it wasn't good, and you know, the owner John commented on my video, and he's like, you know, we had the whole staff at Cascoine tasting through it, and we picked, you know, said this is the best that it's going to be, and it's great, and blah blah blah. And you know, that's all subjective. It's because, you know, not everybody tastes everything like everybody else does. Excuse me. And so this had some astringent bitterness in it, and it's basically, it's from the barrel. It's always from the barrel when you get this kind of astringency for me. And it really, I've got a pretty sensitive palate, and I'm sensitive to bitter, and I'm sensitive to sour, and I can pick up a lot of notes and stuff from it. And so I really picked up this bitterness, and it was overpowering for me. And there's some people that messaged me and said, yeah, I don't get any bitterness. It's a great, and you know, that's great. That's great that you didn't taste it. Not everyone's going to pick it up like I am. But if you're somebody that picks up bitter notes and stuff, you will get this from this. And so I'm going to let it sit for a while and see after it opens up if it kind of mellows out a little bit. And what basically happens, and let me kind of explain, because I do a lot of barrel sampling, because I do the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective, where we do single barrel picks. And so when we do that, brands send me samples and I get to taste through them. I've been, you know, I go to Mexico all the time. I sit with brands a lot of times, and they'll pull samples and say, hey, we want you to taste this. Tell us what you think. Give us some feedback. And so I sit and taste tequila for brands all the time. And I even have brands that send me sample bottles and want to know what my impression is sometimes before they even release it, and ask, you know, what I think, and give suggestions and stuff like that, which I do, and I do it for free. I don't charge anybody for it, because I'm glad to help. And then when it does come out, when it's really good, because they, you know, made changes or whatever, and it came out great, then I'm glad to promote it and encourage you all to try it as well. Not all barrels turn out great. There's some barrels that are flat out awful, and there's some barrels that are flat out excellent. And so what they basically do, though, is they take the great barrels, and in a situation like this, and they blend them with the not so great barrels, and trying to get everything to mix together to develop a taste, a flavor palette that is good, but also uses all their tequila, because they don't want to throw away the bad barrels. They don't want to say, you know, these barrels are no good, so we're going to toss it, because that's money. That's money for them. And so what they'll do is they'll blend the good barrels with the bad barrels. And some brands will take the really good barrels and try to sell them as single barrels and make more money on them that way than trying to sell them blended for a regular release like this was. So I think what happened is there's some barrels that had some really strong astringency, and they were mixed in with this, and so that astringency came through, and that's what I picked up in this tasting. So for me, you know, I could get some of the good notes and stuff from it, but that bitterness just kind of overrode everything for me and just turned me off on this particular tequila. And not only that, it was rough. It wasn't necessarily easy to drink. It had some heat to it, which I don't mind a little heat. But when it gets to the point where I can feel it burning going all the way down my esophagus and into my stomach, and it sits there and kind of burns in my stomach for a while, that's not very pleasant for me. I don't enjoy that. I do love a good, some little heat with some tequila. I enjoy that because sometimes for me it actually will extend the flavor profile and kind of carry the flavor for longer on the finish. So you get a longer finish for it, and you have a nice taste in your mouth at the end. Where the bitterness started, I got the cooked agave note in the beginning, and then it just kind of went to the bitterness, and then that bitterness kind of rode through everything else, and it just kind of ruined everything else for me, which I think is unfortunate because this bottle was $142.99 at the store for this añejo, and I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed I spent that much on it. And I wouldn't recommend anybody else do it. And when I posted the video, I had some people on the Discord that are part of the Tequila Barrel Agave Collective that also commented that they too were turned off by the bitterness. So it's not just me that got this, but I'm hoping that after some time it'll mellow out a little bit once we air it out, maybe a little bit, and see if it settles down. But it just goes to show that sometimes, even though they say, oh, we have the whole staff at the distillery tasting it and blah, 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 it doesn't mean it's going to be great. I've sat across from people that do the tasting at the distilleries before and tasted barrels and started bringing up notes and stuff. And then I've had people going, okay, yeah, I get that now, and I get this. Yeah. I see where you're coming from on this. And so, there's things that other people can detect that some people can't. And so for me, this was a big no. I would not recommend anybody buying it. I hope maybe the next batch that comes out, they spend a little more time and looking at the barrel quality and what they include in it. And if there's something that's not good, that has that bitterness in it, don't blend it in, but you save it. You can do something else. You can continue aging it. Like they could have kept some of the stuff that was kind of bitter and stuff and let it ride in the barrel some more and see if like maybe it comes out better as an extra añejo. Or you could take those two and use them to blend with the Blanco and do like a Joven. And that's one way too. You can actually use the barrel, but also create another expression for you. So there's ways to deal with bad tequila. As a matter of fact, when I did the Cascanes Joven with them, the first Joven, the barrel that they had was really bad because they let it go really too far into malolactic fermentation. And so they were trying to age out the malolactic stuff by letting it sit in the barrel, but it was not sippable by itself. It had this really nasty, musty, gross malolactic notes to it that was just way too strong. And so by blending it with another aged spirit with the reposado, and then also mixing in, it was a reposado, mixing in a extra añejo with it, and then of course mixing it with Blanco, we were able to lose that malolactic bitterness to the point where it just diminished it. And so I think if they did something where they had more, they could have diminished that bitterness to the point where it wouldn't have been an issue as it was. But for me, it's a big no on the Montagave. I'm sorry. I wanted to like it. John is messaging me before. I reviewed their first Blanca that came out, and I didn't think it was that great. And they were like, yeah, okay, that was kind of an experimental edition first. And then they sent me a bottle of the second one. And then the second one was a lot better. And I liked the second one, and we stocked it on Ferment and Still. And then when I heard that the añejo came out, he reached out to us and said, hey, did you want to get some of the third batch? And I said, how about some of the añejo? And he basically said, sorry, we're not going to send you a sample of the añejo, and you can't buy it either because it's limited batch and stuff. And so I was kind of curious, okay, why would you not want me to review it and stuff? And so I think maybe I know why now. So it could be that they just didn't didn't feel too confident in to the point where they wanted to send one for a review. So I don't know. But this is sitting on the shelf at the local store here. And it's been sitting there for a while. It's not like it's selling out like crazy. It's readily available, but I just don't recommend buying it because there's other añejos out there that are in this price range that are a lot better. And one of them being the Nuevo Uno Añejo Deep. Yeah, it's not aged in a wine barrel, a Bordeaux wine barrel, but it's fantastic, and it's $150. And that one I wholly recommend. Cierto Añejo 2 is about $160, like right around there. And that Cierto Añejo is fantastic. And now I know with Cierto, let's talk about this too a little bit today too. I want to talk about this. There's a lot of influencers, I guess, that are getting, that are reviewing the Cierto. They sent the samples to people, and I don't know if they're paying them or not. They didn't pay me. They sent me samples, and instead I just did an honest review with it. And so I got a lot of accusations thrown at me when I did the Cierto review, when I post Cierto content, saying how much you getting paid for this. I guess it's some kind of venture capitalist or something that owns the brand. I don't know. I didn't get into that. The person I dealt with is the chief growth officer who's responsible for growing the brand, which I deal with some of those from other brands as well. He's a good guy, very much an agave tequila lover, and we've had some great conversations talking about tequila in general. He follows the channel as well. But the brand, the aged spirits on that brand are exceptional. Some of the best aged expressions from a brand that I've ever had. And I can honestly say that they're really enjoyable. Yeah, it's expensive, but it's really good. And of course, what do you expect from Enrique Fonseca out of 1146, right? The guy is a master when it comes to blending aged spirits. And they did a fantastic job here, just like they would with like the Artenom Selección 1146. The Repo, the Añejo, the Extra Añejo, all of them were fantastic. The Blanco it's way high priced for what it is. I don't recommend the Blanco just because it's $90 or something like that. And that's too much for the Blanco. I wasn't impressed too much with the Blanco, but the aged spirits are where that brand shines. And if you really want to try a really good Repo, Añejo, or Extra Añejo, invest the money and try those. Those will show you what a good Añejo can cost like at a high price point. Those are the ones I'd recommend. This one, way overpriced for what it is. For $70, this one's aged in French white Burgundy barrels, which is basically Chardonnay. And this is fantastic. This doesn't have that bitterness in it. It's got really nice barrel presence. You can get a little grapiness and sour apple from the wine that's in there. You get a beautiful chocolate and vanilla notes and caramel. And it's really easy to drink. Super tasty. And it's $70. It's half price. So I recommend if you want something that's aged in a wine barrel, go that route. Or my other favorite right now, which I know I just had it out because I'm sending some samples to some of the members on where is it? Oh. This one's fantastic. So if you're in Colorado, grab a bottle of this right now. I'm going to be meeting with this brand this weekend because I want to get them here in California. So I'm trying to connect them with people I know in the distribution area and help them get distribution so we can stock it on Ferment and Still. But this Dos Angeles Criados Rosa is amazing. It is so good. This is aged in wine barrels that come from the Valle de Guadalupe. So this is also a wine aged one. Very good. I'm so impressed. The only reason why that bottle isn't gone is because I can't get another one because it's only available in Colorado right now. Although I did ask that when I'm having the meeting with them on Saturday, I go, can you please bring me another bottle of the Rosa so I can have another bottle? And they say, yeah, okay. But they also have a Reposado that's coming out, and I'll be reviewing that. So look for that to come out soon. El Ateo arrived today here for review. If you haven't seen that bottle, I got the Blanco, the Repo, and the Añejo came in from the importer, so I'll be reviewing this here soon. I've got a bunch of stuff I'm going to review, and I'll go over that here in a little bit. This brand showed up. There's been a lot of talk about this. I'm a little bit, kind of... I'm a little bit... I'm keeping things, no expectations. Okay, I'm not setting any expectations. I've seen some of the reviews, but you know, where they come from for me means something, and who's doing them means something. And the people that I've seen that have been doing the reviews so far are not people that I trust their palate or recommendations because of affiliations and stuff like that. So I'm going to reserve my opinion and stuff on it until I actually try it, which I try to do with all of the brands that I review. So that one, we have a review coming up for that, and that'll happen coming up here soon. So look for that. And then today we just released the aging video for the home aging project. The staves have gone into the bottles of Carrera 54. We did a stave that was an American oak number 3 stave that was soaked in Osborne 1821 Pedro Jimenez sherry, which is, that one's going to be so good. I'm looking forward to that. And then I did a French oak stave number 3 that was soaked in Otima 10 port wine. So both of these are kind of fortified wines, and so this is going to be kind of an interesting flavor profile that is going to be created with these. So I did the video. It's posted up on the channel when we dropped the staves into the bottles, and I talked about some things. And then we'll check in on those every week now for the group project. So hopefully if you're participating, you put your staves in your bottles today, and we'll get that thing rolling, and that's going to be fun too. So keep an eye out for the home aging stuff. Home aging is a lot of fun. I've got a lot of bottles of home aged stuff that I keep here that I drink myself. I enjoy with a good stogie out in the garage. And so I'm going to start doing some video stuff with the stogie in the garage on Instagram, where I'll post some of the tastings with some of my aged spirits. I could post them here too if people want to see it on YouTube. Just let me know. All right, so that's kind of what's happening this week so far. We're going to go check in with our subscribers and see what is going on. Curtis, hola, buenos días también. Buenos días para ti. Welcome, glad you can make it. Bienvenido. Cole Centers, hola, bienvenido, welcome. Happy Thursday to you too, Cole. Come on, there you go. Happy Tequila Thursday. It's Rob, hook 'em from Austin, Texas. Hook 'em. Yeah. Oh, Hombre, did you survive? Yes, I survived the glass of Montagave. Yes, I did. It actually burned in my stomach for a little while afterwards, and I was kind of not feeling very well afterwards, but I survived, and I'm doing well now, so everything's good. So nervous about tomorrow, Hombre. No reason to be nervous, Rob. I'm going to guide you guys through everything. All you have to do is sip and taste. That's all. And just tell us what you're tasting. No reason to be nervous. There's no right or wrong answers. We're just going to have fun and just be a few guys hanging around and talking. I'd love to sometime get a female member to participate too. So if you're a member on the channel and you're a female, we'd love to have you participate in some of these blinds. So make sure you message me when I say we're going to do another blind, and we'd love to have you come join us and participate. And for those of you that are members of the channel, thank you for supporting what I do. I appreciate you. And I appreciate your support. And I try to say that as much as I can so you guys know that I do appreciate you. And now I'm going to be, for the members too, I'm going to be traveling to Mexico here within the next couple of months and doing some content and stuff there. And I'm going to do some members-only content from Mexico. So for those of you that are members, you'll see members-only posts on here on YouTube for you, updating on what I'm doing, who I'm seeing, what kind of things is going on, what kind of things, kind of back information I'm getting from people about stuff that's happening. So I'm going to post that for members only. And then, of course, I will be shooting some regular content to post on the YouTube channel as well from there. And I'll be posting some stuff on Instagram as well. So make sure you look for that. But I will be traveling to Mexico here within the next couple of months and spending some time. I've been invited to visit some new distilleries, and I'll introduce you as well to some new master distillers that maybe you're not familiar with, that are just awesome people. And it should be a great trip. I'm looking forward to it. And Leo, buenos dias, good morning. And bienvenido, welcome. Glad you can make it today. Happy Viernes, Chiquito, Friday, Junior to all. Happy Viernes, yes, happy Viernes. Feliz Viernes, happy Thursday. Chiquito Friday, Junior. Is it Viernes? Viernes, Jueves. Lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves. Today's jueves. Thursday, right? Viernes is Friday. Sábado, domingo. Unless I got it mixed up. I don't know. All right, so, Hombre, maybe you should have got your friend from the Volans review to help you out with that. With the guy. Yeah. Yeah, the Tequila Mother Clucker wasn't going to get involved on that stuff anymore. He's just like, nope, sorry. Too many people didn't enjoy the Tequila Mother Clucker. So I thought he did a great job. Hey, Hombre, if you could use any Blanco for your Tommy's Margarita, what would it be? Price not important. Thanks for the recommendation on the Senor Mage agave. Oh, you like the Senor Mage? That stuff is really good as far as agave nectar goes. It's some of the best agave nectar on the market. My home well tequila is El Tesoro. I use El Tesoro. I could use any really good Blanco. Matter of fact, I should try the regular Carrera, the 40% Carrera, because I think that'd make great margaritas as well. But I use El Tesoro here at the house for my margaritas and stuff. When I do them, I don't drink cocktails that much, but when I do. Hey, ¿qué pasó? What's up? Happy Thursday to you too on the rocks. Glad you can make it today. Bienvenido. Happy National Margarita Day. Yes. Today is National Margarita Day. That's correct. I will not be drinking margaritas today, though. Hombre, have you tried these Three Amigos Añejo tequila? Got a bottle, total wine, and more. Any thoughts? Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Three Amigos line. It's just never really tasted good to me. So I think the only thing that was like halfway decent was their organic Blanco that they did. But I tried that a long time ago. I haven't had it in a while, but it wasn't a brand that really made me want to go buy it. And the fact, too, that Total Wine promotes it's not something that I'm extremely thrilled about as well. Correct. Viernes is Friday. Yeah, but Viernes Chiquito is Thursday. Like what we call Thursday, Friday Junior. Okay. Got it. Viernes Chiquito. I'll remember that. Okay. I've been working on my Spanish, so my Spanish has gotten a lot better. And the reason why I did that is because when I go to Mexico, a lot of times I used to try to speak Spanish, and some of the master distillers only speak Spanish, and so I used to just kind of finagle my way through my Spanish, and I had always had a friend with me that could translate, or somebody there that would translate. But I made a pact with Sergio Cruz from 1414. We made a deal that he's going to learn to speak English, and I'm going to learn to speak Spanish. And then when I visit this time and go see him, he's going to speak English, and I'm going to speak to him in Spanish. And we're going to try to do the best we can doing that. So that's kind of a little pact I made with Sergio Cruz, who's a good friend of mine. All right, so hey, Sarah, what does it say? My sweetie gave me a bottle of Lalo Blanco and a bottle of Arete Artesanal for Valentine's Day. Oh, that's very nice. He deserves a big smooch for that. He gave you some good tequila. Lalo Blanco is good, and the Arete Artesanal is my favorite Arete line. I think the Artesanal is better than the regular stuff. I enjoy the Artesanal. Matter of fact, Costco here locally just started carrying the Reposado, which I enjoy the Reposado, so I'm glad that they have it, and I get it for fairly good price at Costco. They also started carrying G4, which is exciting, because this Costco that's close to me here is normally carries garbage. It's normally not very good tequila, so I'm glad that they got some good stuff in. I was excited to see that. I love the Lalo. The minerality comes through. I swear I can taste sweet granite stone in a good way. Oh, that's nice. But they don't use any granite stone, so I don't know why you would do that. They use a roller mill, so they're not using Toona. But hey, if you're getting it from the water, maybe, I don't know. But I'm glad you enjoyed, Sarah. It's a good tequila. Lalo Gonzalez does a good job with that with that brand. I enjoy it as well. So it's good. So let me see some other things we could talk about. G4 Extra Añejo is supposed to be coming out this week. Actually, no, I'm sorry, arriving on the 29th. That should be good. It's going to be a limited release. So, suggested retail price on it's $149.99 from the information I gathered and got from the brand. So that should be good. I've always enjoyed the Extra Añejo from G4. They make a good solid product. So make sure you look for that. We're only getting, they've heavily allocated it, so it's going to be allocated again, unfortunately. Been working with G4 on trying to get some more allocation for ferment and still. But right now it's going to be limited. So unfortunately, the G4 for ferment and still is going to go towards the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective members. They're going to get first shot at it. And if they don't buy it all, then whatever we have left will be open up for the public. But I have a feeling that they're probably going to buy it all. So, but that's one of the advantages of being a Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective member. And if you're interested in joining, look for the link in the description that says the TBAC. That's the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. That's my group on Discord. Now, you do have to know how to use Discord because all the information is kept on the Discord server, and that way everybody can get the information all the time. When I first started the collective, I did it for free. We did it on Facebook, but people were talking about how much prices were and stuff, and Facebook shut the group down because they thought we were selling stuff on Facebook, which we weren't. So then we started up another group, but then what happened was a lot of people were complaining that they didn't get the emails or didn't see the post that things were being released, and I got a lot of complaints that way. And so we moved to Discord instead, and that way everything's there on the Discord. And what happens is when I get an announcement, I normally will tag everyone so everybody gets a notification that there's stuff happening, and so that you keep your notifications on, you'll know. But all the channels, there's a bunch of different channels on the Discord that have a bunch of different information. We have a pretty good, solid group of people there that are fairly nice. We occasionally get a bad apple that we need to have removed, but in most cases, everyone there is normally pretty good, and we have some really good conversations, and it's fun. So if you want to get involved at the collective, we'd love to have you join the community. We have a really good group of probably 120 members right now that are really solid, really good tequila aficionados, and we have some good conversations and talking about things, and it's a lot of good information being shared, especially like bars and restaurants in different states that members recommend people go to that have good tequila selections, things like that involved in there too. So if you want to join, we'd love to have you, and then you get access to some of these allocated stuff too that comes out. So that's happening. El Ateo should be hitting ferment and still this week. It should be up this week. I'm going to do the review of that probably this weekend. I'll try to do it this weekend. I've got some stuff I'm going to do reviews, and I'll let you guys know what I'm reviewing. So when you get the wet stone tasting notes, is that the water they're using or the clay ovens or grinding method? No, normally it's from the water. Because the granite and stuff, if they're using deep well water, it's from traveling through all the minerals and stuff. Sometimes you can get the granite if it's a Taona, because the Taona stone will impart a minerality on it when they're doing crushing. So if they're using a granite Taona wheel, like which is like El Tesoro has, what other brand? I'm trying to remember. Siete Leguas as a volcanic rock stone. It wouldn't be with G4 because they use a steamroller, a repurposed steamroller. So that's metallic. So that shouldn't impart any notes like that because it's stainless steel. But anytime they use a Taona stone, you can get that. Somebody asked me too, I wanted to let people know this, El Tesoro, people have been making comments about how the Taona wheel is not on the cap on El Tesoro. And what I've heard is that they source the stone for those Taona wheels from the Ukraine. And so they're having some issues sourcing them right now because of the war going on in Ukraine. So whether the bottle has a Taona stone or not, I don't know if they found another source. I don't know what's going on, but that's why sometimes you'll see the El Tesoro not have the Taona stone on the top of the bottle, unfortunately. But the juice is still good, and I still recommend El Tesoro wholeheartedly to anybody that wants to try a good tequila. So that's another thing. Oh, God, another phone call. I'm going to send him the voicemail. See if he leaves a voicemail. So what else? Let me see. So that was one thing I wanted to talk about. We had a discussion on the Discord about flavor notes, and somebody had asked about a banana taste. Now, one thing I wanted to let people know is that most of the flavor that you taste that comes from your tequila when you're drinking a Blanco, okay, with a Blanco, it's from the fermentation. It's actually from fermentation. Fermentation produces the majority of the flavor profile. So if there's something where you get like a banana note from it or tropical fruit, it's because the yeast produced those flavor profiles when during fermentation. And one thing that was really cool that I used to play with a lot when I was home brewing beer and also doing fermentation before, we would do some test batches on a still that was at a friend's boutique distillery that he has. Which he's fully licensed to do so. You can't home distill here in the United States because it is illegal. But when we were doing that, I would play with the temperature a lot to see what kind of flavor notes I could get from the yeast, and then see if it came through on the distillation. A lot of times it did. And so he asked, the person on the Discord asked about a banana note. And of course, yeast can produce a banana note. If you ever tried like a Hefeweizen, you'll notice there's a banana note in there. And so it all depends on the yeast and how the yeast is pushed on whether it produces different flavors and stuff. So the warmer the flavor, the warmer the fermentation happens, you're going to get different flavors from when you do it at a colder temperature. And so that's one of the reasons why we talked before about fermentation temperatures and how like now is like some of the best time to do fermentations and to get like tequila that's produced now, because you're going to get some of the cleanest fermentation happening now in the colder temps that are happening like in Arandas in the Los Altos area, or even in tequila, because it's colder now this time of year. When it gets warmer in the summer, you're going to get different flavor profiles from what you're fermenting then too, because they don't really do much as far as temperature control on a lot of the fermentation tanks, because they're huge tanks and they're not closed like they are at breweries or wineries and stuff. So instead, they don't have jackets, cooling jackets and stuff on them. They don't use counterflow chillers in them, which they could. So one experiment I'd like to do, and I'm going to talk to some distilleries and see if we can maybe do a special project where we work with chilling and doing a temperature control on a fermentation before we do a batch of tequila. I think that'd be fun. So I'd like to do that and see what we can come up with. What are some other things? We're getting a single barrel añejo from Santo Fino Tequila. We're going to be the first in the country, or actually first in the world to do this. They're bringing samples back right now from Mexico for me. So I should be getting those here shortly. So look for that. I will do the tasting of that live on YouTube, so you guys can kind of see what that's like as well. I have done tastings before. There's a video posted on the channel of me picking out a couple of barrels of the San Matias Gran Reserva with the people at San Matias. I did that when I was in Guadalajara, so look for that. And you can see that picking barrels, and they gave me like, I think 6 different barrels to choose from. And I picked, there's 2 that were so good that I said, well, we'll just take 2. So we have those 2 barrels coming in here. They're in the process of trying to get them from Mexico to the US. That's going to be really good. Those extra añejos were fantastic. I recommend, if you're not a member of the Collective Joint, so you can get in on this buy, it's going to be fantastic. And it's going to be really inexpensive compared to a lot of the stuff that's out there as well. What else? I think that's just about it. I think that's all I've got that's off the top of my head. So let's see what kind of questions you guys can come up with, what kind of things you want to know about, and we can go from there. I'm trying to think, is there anything else we can talk about here? I don't see any questions popping up. Oh, have any of you guys tried the I did this review on the Don Vicente. It's really good. I like this. My second favorite brand out of G4. I enjoy this brand a lot. So if you guys haven't tried the Don Vicente yet, I do recommend picking some up. The extra añejo sold out on Ferment Still. Once I posted the video, it's gone. Everyone bought it all up. But we should have some more coming in about 3 weeks is what the distributor said. So look for that. We have a single barrel of El Gran Legado de Vida coming in as well. So that one should be coming in. They said it's looking more now like May or June. It got delayed. So unfortunately, that'll happen. Yayo single barrel repo. We have a barrel TP4, I think was the one we selected. That one's really good. So we're going to have a really nice single barrel of the Yayo Reposado coming as well. That'll be delicious. Can't wait to try the higher proofs. Yeah, I know. This is so good. I've kept my bottles here. Where are they? I get so many bottles on the floor here now. My wife comes in here and goes like, "Oh my God, it's growing! It's growing!" That's one. Where's the other one? I have another one. Where is it? Let me see. Black top. Oh, here it is. Nope, that's not it. Where is it? Black top, black top, black top, black top, black top. I don't know where I stashed it. But here's one of them. This is one of the bottles. I was like, they sent me a sample. I was like, what? Damn, that's a big sample. That's good. So that's one of them. So that should be good. You plan on getting both? Good. Yes, definitely. I recommend everybody pick both barrels, and you can taste the difference between the two of them. It's going to be so good. And I'd recommend even like buying a case of each, because this is going to go fast. So it happens a lot with our barrel buys where people will just buy one bottle, but then those that know will buy cases, and so they come back later and go, "Oh, I'm ready to buy some more. That was really good." And it's gone. It happens all the time. It's like, well, sorry. And they're like, what do you mean it's gone? Can we do another barrel? It's like, no, well, we don't know if the barrels are going to be as good as these are. But I recommend picking up like a case. That's what I do. I normally pick up a case of the stuff that's really good. Travis Conboy. Hola. Bienvenido. Welcome. Glad you can make it. S. Johnson says, I went to Tulum, Mexico a few weeks ago. Found no good tequila there. Only tourist trap places. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's like that in Tulum. It's really, Guadalajara is really one of the best. Now, I'm going to be going to Cabo San Lucas this year for vacation. So I'm going to do some content when I'm there, go in some stores and show you guys some stores in Cabo, because a lot of people ask me, I'm going to Cabo, where should I go? So I'll do some shopping with the Hombre videos while I'm in Cabo, so you guys can get an idea of like good places to go. And then we'll talk a little bit about the tourist tax pricing that they have there, because things can be really expensive there. So even though they have the tequila, it's not necessarily a great place to buy tequila because of the tourist and how they jack things up. So it's just like back in the old days, the foreman always had bottles under their desk. This is unfortunately. This is all on the floor over here. It's like there's probably, I don't know, maybe 150 bottles there on the floor. I should show you guys. But it's kind of a mess. I don't want to show everybody because it's a mess. So. All right, so Raul, he says, well, hombre, question, do you have a list somewhere of all the tequilas you've rated 5 agave? I see you rate 4 often, but curious which you've rated 5 without having to go through every video. Now, I don't remember which ones I rated 5 agave, unfortunately, so no, I don't have a list. Instead, you should go through and watch all the videos and see which ones sound good to you, because then too that's how I make money off you watching videos. So I don't charge for this information. I don't charge the brands, but the more videos you watch, the better it is for me, because I get the Google advertising stuff. So do me a favor and watch the videos, and then you'll get which ones I rate 5 agave. Some of them I'm going to revisit because, things have changed, right? It's some of the videos that I first did were from 5 years ago. And my palate's changed a lot since then. So there's things that I probably rated 5 agave then that I probably wouldn't rate 5 agave now. And some people would ask too about the rating system. And it's basically the way I rate it, 1 agave, it's got to be like undrinkable, awful, just really bad, like stupendously horrible in order to get 1 agave. 2 agave is, it's like, okay, it's bad, but it's drinkable. You can shoot it. You can do something like that, but it's not something that I would recommend even buying. 3 agave is, it's like, meh, if you can get it for a good price, okay, it's okay, but it's not something that I would buy again. And 4 is basically, I recommend it. It's good. You'll enjoy it. Buy it. It's really tasty and it's done well. And so that's why you see a lot of 4 agaves, because a lot of the tequilas that submit to me, they know that they've got a good tequila, and they typically are. There's been a few that I've gotten that were not so good, that I rated, 3 or 2. And then 5 agave is stuff that kind of elevates and raises the bar. It like takes you on, gives you an experience that you won't find in a lot of other tequilas. And so when something gets a 5 agave, it's normally stupendous and really different, and something that really gives you a great experience that you really don't get from anything else. And so that's when they get the 5 agave rating. So that's what 5 agave is when you see those ratings. I have looked in Playa del Carmen for tequila. Same thing, just touristy places like Casa Azul and Casa Dragones for stupid. Yeah, all those touristy places are not great places to buy tequila. And even now, when you go to Guadalajara, people get this impression like, oh, I'm going to go to Guadalajara, I'm going to score a bunch of tequila, it's going to be great, and blah, blah, blah. There's things that you need to understand. In Guadalajara, they don't get all the tequila there. There's a lot of tequila that's imported into the U.S. that you can't buy in Mexico. So keep that in mind. We have the best tequila in the world here in the United States that you can't buy in Mexico, because the U.S. is the largest consumer of tequila in the world. This country consumes more tequila than Mexico does. So there's brands that as soon as it's made, it gets exported immediately to the United States, instead of getting approval and all the certifications and stuff to be sold in Mexico. Additionally, the tequila in Mexico is lower proof in a lot of cases. So you see like G4 on the shelf, it's 38% in Mexico. In the United States, it's 40%. So you're going to get more sabor, more flavor, because it's a little higher proof. It's not as watered down. And they do that for tax reasons. So you'll see a lot of the tequila in Mexico is lower proof. The tequila that I buy when I go to Mexico is stuff that's not imported to the U.S. yet. I get those brands, and then a lot of stuff too that I bring back are things that are gifted to me by the distilleries, where it's like, here, we want you to have a bottle of this, try it, review it. If you like it, then let's see about getting distribution and bringing it into the U.S., and then I can connect them with somebody that is looking for to import a brand or wants to add brands to their portfolio, and I can connect them with the brand and have that brand imported. And I've done that for a few brands where I've worked on getting them imported in the U.S., and then we can add them on ferment and still. And that's the whole purpose of ferment and still, is for us to be able to get these brands for you all to purchase and make them available to people here in the U.S. Easily. So that's one of the things that I do. And so just because you're going to Mexico doesn't mean you're going to score all the great tequila and you're going to come back and it's going to be great prices and stuff like that. That's not necessarily true. There's stuff in Mexico that, you're going to be paying like the same price for what you pay here in the U.S. And then there's also stuff here in the U.S. that you can't get in Mexico. So it's like when I used to go to Mexico, I say, hey, do you have Tears of Llorona here? And they're like, what? because Tears of Llorona was not for sale in Mexico for a long time. I don't know if it still is or not. I don't know if Herman is selling it in Mexico. I know Mauricio Pons with Tequila Town was able to get some cases. He told me, and they have a store in Cabo, and they have a couple stores all over. But he told me he was able to get some. But I think that might be like one of the only places. I don't even think El Bujo can get or has Tears of Llorona or not. I don't know. That may have changed since the last time I was there. What is that? Hey, hombre, I've tried to make purchases on ferment and still, but I live in Michigan and it won't allow me to purchase. Is it a state law, or eventually could that change for ferment and still? Yeah, Michigan. They used to ship to Michigan, but we got a letter from the state's attorney saying, please stop shipping your tequila to Michigan. You're not allowed to do that, and if you do it, we could prosecute you. So when we get a note like that from a state district attorney or state attorney, we stop shipping. So Michigan, unfortunately, was the victim of that, and I think that my fulfillment partner is working on trying to see if they can get licensed so they can ship to Michigan, but right now it is off. Tennessee did the same thing. They went after 4 or 5 online stores and sent them cease and desist letters and threatened litigation if they continued. So there was a big article that was posted in the press about that. So we don't ship to Tennessee either, and they don't ship to a few other states that don't allow it, like Utah and Mississippi, but most of the states are included unless there's hardcore laws about shipping into the state. And some people think there's laws about shipping into the state, but you can purchase permits to do it. And so my fulfillment partner has been able to do that, and we have pretty good widespread ability to ship across the U.S. I think you're right about tequila not being available in Mexico. When they ask me what I'm looking for and I tell them G4 or Fortaleza, they look at me funny, even if you call it Los Abuelos. Yeah, Los Abuelos you can find there. El Bujo carries Los Abuelos and Fortaleza both. And they have G4 at El Bujo too. But there's only a few. Matter of fact, you can buy G4 at a lot of places. In Tijuana, there's some stores that have G4 there, as well as Los Abuelos. But Fortaleza, you can buy at the even the distillery is charging a lot of money for the Fortaleza now. It's crazy what they're doing with the pricing on that. Vinoteca in Cabo has a decent. Yeah, I there's a place that was called. Well, there's Tequila Town, which is in the harbor. La Europa is another store that has decent selection. The prices there are a little more reasonable. I found some good stuff at Costco and at Kmart there in Cabo. And then also there was a Tequila Boutique, I think was the name of the store that this guy was running. And he had some decent stuff there too, but he tried to charge us $300 for a bottle of Cascaween Extra Añejo like 6 years ago, and that's ridiculous. It was like $65 if I went to the distillery to buy it, and I could buy it I could buy it at other stores like in Mexico and stuff, and get it for like $65-70. But Cabo, the guy tried to sucker into $300. I was like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Now, what you can do when you travel to Mexico, this is something that's really cool, is before you go, or even while you're there, if you're going to be there for an extended period of time, go on Amazon, and you can buy tequila on Amazon, good tequila, and have it shipped to your hotel or your condo or your timeshare, whatever, and you can have it delivered there from Amazon in Mexico. And so I've known people that have done that. And even if you wanted to get Cascaween, for example, you can contact Cascaween directly and say, hey, I want a bottle of this. Like if they have the Veces Diez or not, you can say, hey, I want to purchase a couple bottles of that. Can you guys ship it to this address in Mexico for me? They'll ship it for you. I've known people that have contacted Cascoine and ordered it, paid for it over the phone, and then they shipped it to their timeshare or condo or whatever in Cabo, and it arrived, while they were there, and they were able to get it and bring it back. So, but just make sure too that if you do go and you're going to bring something back, that you check your state laws on what you can bring back to make sure you're within the guidelines. Otherwise, you could have your tequila confiscated if you don't follow those guidelines. And make sure too that you you declare everything that you're bringing back, and don't try to sneak it in, because if you get caught, they'll take it away from you. I think I missed it when G4 actually, the 29th is when it's supposed to start hitting really shelves here in California. So the 29th of February. So next week, what is it, 22nd? A week from today is when we should start seeing it. Going to the dentist. Okay, well, have fun. Take a hit of that gas for me, will you? Hasta mañana. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow on Instagram for the blind challenge, and I hope you have no cavities. Yeah, good luck, Rob. Sarah's such a nice person. So yes, don't forget to give me a like for sharing all this information with you. Click the thumbs up, give it a like. Doesn't cost you anything for likes, and help the channel out. That's what I'm here talking to you guys. So yeah, traveling to Mexico is fun. And people, there's some things too I think people should understand. When you go to Mexico and you go on distillery tours, they're not like wine tours. They're not like wine tours where you can go and they have tours set up, and then they take you through the winery, and you go to a tasting room, and then you taste, and then you can buy stuff in the store. They're not like that. No. Matter of fact, distilleries are quite plain. There's not a whole lot to them. Once you've seen a few distilleries, seen a couple of distilleries, you've basically seen them all. You're going to be able to go, okay, that's that. And then they don't sell tequila typically at the distillery. And there's a few that do. There's a few that have stores. Cascoine just opened up a tasting room, I think. So they do now. They didn't before. Fortaleza, of course, is a total tourist thing. So they have scheduled tours you can take, and then they have you can drink and taste their stuff in the cave in the cava, and then they'll sell you whatever you want afterwards there at the distillery. There's a few that are like that. I think El Tequileño just built out a tasting room and stuff, but a lot of the other distilleries, they don't do that, and they don't cater towards the tourists. Some of them are starting to do that now, but most of them don't. Most of them, you go and you taste the tequila, this is really good, then you have to go, you can ask them what store to buy it at, and they'll tell you what store has it, and then you have to just go to whatever store it is and pick it up. Ocho, I think, is adding a store to their distillery, but before they were like, oh, you have to go into the Santa Barbara Liquors in Arandas and pick it up, and so that's where I had to go when I hung out with Fani and with Carlos on my last trip there. But they have a really nice restaurant they opened up there as well. I want to go try that restaurant on my next trip, and of course I'll try to stop by and say hello to Carlos and Fani while I'm there too. What's up to Gay C-Spill? Bienvenido, welcome. Glad you can make it. Better late than never. You guys don't forget to click the thumbs up and give me a like for the information I'm sharing today, and help the channel out, help the video out. And I'll answer your questions for you. That's what I'm here for. I'm one of the only people I think that jumps something like this and answers questions and gives you guys some insight into stuff and what's going on in the tequila world. And I enjoy doing this because for me, it's all about helping people get the knowledge to know how to buy good tequila and what not to buy. Now, you want to see something exciting? You guys can look for this review. I'm kind of excited about this. I had a brand send me some bottles. I was like, ooh, okay, so I guess they really don't follow my channel at all. But check this out here. So I know this brand's not watching because they don't watch my stuff, but they keep asking me when I'm going to do the review. So I'm going to do this review for them. But this brand here called Cosmico sent me some bottles. Okay. So they obviously don't watch my content and probably never have, which is fine. They probably heard about me from somebody and said, oh, you should send it to Tequila Hombre or something. But this Tequila Cosmico, okay, this is their Blanco. They sent me a Blanco, which is good. Okay, Blanco. But then they also sent me in two other bottles, and an Añejo Cristalino and an extra Añejo Cristalino. Okay? And the distillery that makes this has a diffuser with acid hydrolysis. So so we're going to have some fun with some information on the processes involved with this, and then what's involved and what they do, and then we'll do the tasting of it. I'm like, ooh. So I have to make sure that I eat a full meal before I do this, and that I've got enough to not trigger any bad responses from it. But look for the Tequila Cosmico review coming up soon, and I'll give you some great information about diffusers and how they work and what kind of things they do, and give you some background information on it, and then we'll do into the tasting of this brand and see if it's good. I mean, it could be good. I've yet to try a really good diffused brand yet, but you don't know. And then, of course, with the Cristalino stuff, I'm sure it probably tastes good, but we'll see as far as, whether it's additives or what they did with it. And so I'll give you guys the full breakdown on that on this review. So this one's going to be fun to do. I don't mind doing these every once in a while and giving everybody information about it, so they know what's out there, what kind of things happen. So these kind of things excite me because it gives me an opportunity to learn some more and to experience stuff where I normally wouldn't go out and buy a bottle like this and spend my money on it. But when a brand wants to send me something, I'll give you the breakdown on it, and we'll use it for education purposes. And I'm willing to bite the bullet on this and do this. And it should be an interesting experience. So make sure when you see the Tequila Cosmico review go up that you check it out, because it's gonna be great. I'm gonna put all kinds of great stuff, great content and stuff together for it. So, El Mágico, bienvenido, welcome. Glad you can make it, buddy. Glad you can make it, amigo. So what Sarah says, so hombre, bourbon has a couple dozen tasting profiles and tequila has like 200 plus. What makes agave so darn versatile? I love that the 20 bottles I own are all distinct. Yeah, no, that's good. I wouldn't say tequila has 200 plus. Tasting profiles. No, there's different things you can get, but a lot of it's just like fermentation issues. It's not even like from the tequila. And then when you taste enough and you drink enough tequilas, you're going to see that it's like, all right, I've tasted that before. And you get to the point where it's like, okay, it's just an average tequila. It's not like it's going to be like, oh, wow, this is completely different. Most of the time when you get that, it's from fermentation notes. It's not even from the agave. Because I could put 5 different agave from 5 different areas on plates and feed you cooked agave, and you'd go like, yeah, they all taste like really nice cooked agave. I mean, it's like, I could take 5 red apples from different parts of the country and put them on a plate, and it's going to taste like 5 red apples, right? So I don't know. The only thing I think that is different than bourbon is the fact that bourbon has to sit in barrels, and anything that you get from the white liquor is gone because it's aged. Bourbon, it's supposed to have all the barrel notes. It's supposed to be rich in barrel notes. That's not the same with tequila, where the Blanco gives you stuff, and then when the Blanco stuff mixes with the barrel notes, and the fact too that you can mix in with bourbon, they're using new American oak barrels. With tequila, they can use cognac barrels, they can use wine barrels, they can use any kind of barrel they want. Ex bourbon barrels, ex Tennessee whiskey barrels, ex Scott Scottish whiskey or Scotch whiskey barrels, Irish whiskey barrels, you name it. So that kind of adds to the different flavor profiles that you can get as well, depending on what was in the barrel before it was aged. So that's, I mean, I don't buy into the whole 200 flavor profile things. That gets a little crazy, and I don't agree with that. I actually had a client give me a bottle of Herradura Extra Neo Cristallino. It wasn't terrible. Been using it for mixed drinks. Don't want to waste it. Yeah, no, I mean, it's like, it's not terrible. It's going to taste good because it's got the additives and stuff in there to make it taste good. But it is what it is. I mean, it's manipulated. Nice looking, yeah. They're nice looking bottles. Yeah, they did a good job on the bottles. Man, best of luck. Thanks for taking. Yeah, that's what I'm here for, right? That's what I'm here for. What are some knock your socks off agave? What are some knock my socks off agave? What do you mean, like a different agave for mezcal and stuff? Or I don't understand what the question is. What's some knock your socks off agave? But Sarah, I don't buy into that whole 200 flavor notes. There's people that try to feed people all kinds of stuff, and I taste so many different types of tequila and so many different things, and most of the different flavored profiles, that things that change in the flavor, has to do with the yeast that's used in fermentation. It's not the agave in itself, because when you taste agave, it's like I've tasted cooked agave from the Valle, I've tasted cooked agave from Los Altos, from all over. I even tasted cooked agave from Michoacan, and it tastes like cooked agave. I mean, it does. It's not like Syrah grapes from that were in colder weather that a different flavor than in Washington than Syrah grapes from Sonoma, or something like that. It's different. Know of any Native American tequilas? Have you tried Native Spirit? No, I haven't. I haven't gotten any Native American tequilas because there's no tequilas made in America. But I haven't tried any Native Spirits either. But I haven't even gotten any of the California. Matter of fact, there was a group that's making an agave distillate in California, and they reached out to me and said, wanted to know if I would be interested in having ferment and still add that to them. I said, well, sure, send me a bottle of each expression you have, and I'll do a review on it. And if it's good, we'll add it, and I'll encourage people to buy it if it's good. If it's not good, we're not going to add it. And of course, I want to encourage people to buy it. And they said, okay, no, thanks. And they didn't send me samples. So, what are my top 3 agave plants? Okay, it's the yeast, not agave. Yeah. Well, because with tequila, it's all Weber Blue agave. So it's not like they're mixing agave up. Now, if they allowed different agave in tequila like you do mezcal, that would be something that I think would be great. I would love that. But unfortunately, then it would be like, because tequila is a mezcal anyway. So, but it's only Weber Blue agave. And since Weber Blue agave is farmed, it's not, wild like some other mezcal agave and stuff. It's not as good as it used to be. The soil's getting depleted and stuff. The older agave, I think, was more rich and sweet. Where the newer stuff not, is because they're pulling it out younger too, 5-6 years versus 8 to 10 years. So those things have an effect too. But a lot of the flavor notes are from fermentation. Majority of them are from the fermentation. Heading to Las Vegas, hombre, or anyone know of any good liquor stores where I can find a variety of good tequilas without being way overpriced? Is it duty free at the airport? Well, it's duty free in Vegas because it's in the United States already. Anything you buy in the U.S. is going to be duty free because you're not bringing it into the border, across the border. So it's going to be duty free. So you don't have to worry about duty. Duty is the tax you pay to import it when you bring it in. It's already paid the tax, so it's already paid the duty. It's here. But in Las Vegas, there's Lee's Discount Liquor is a good liquor store. They have a lot of good stuff, and it's just right off the strip. There's one right off the strip, but they normally do a good job of stocking some good tequilas there, so I recommend that. Oh, Native Spirits is a tequila made by Native American women. Oh. I have not tried Native Spirits. So if you want to reach out to them and have them send me some bottles to review, I'd love to review them. But I haven't tried it, no. I normally stick with Mexican spirits, unless an American organization reaches out and says, "Hey, we want you to." And even if they did, they sent me samples and stuff, and I thought it was good. I would even travel out there to do some content and give you guys some information about them and see their operation and interview them and stuff and bring that content to the channel. I'm not opposed to doing that at all. To send the information. Sorry, poorly worded question. No worries. Don't worry about it. What is that? Face fuchsia poop shape. I gotta see what that looks like, because every time you do these emojis and it does this, it's like, what? Oh, it's a pink poop. Okay, got it. I see that. It's a pink poop. You're welcome. You're welcome. And then nice thing too is Vegas doesn't charge sales tax. So if you do buy it in Vegas, they don't charge sales tax. Here, C-Spill agrees. Lee's the best. They don't charge sales tax in Vegas, so you don't have to worry about paying your sales tax either. It's just because they make all their money off the gambling. Off everybody losing their money there. I need a Vegas trip. Matter of fact, I'm supposed to help a brand launch in Vegas, and I'm waiting for them to reach out to tell me when they want me to do it. But we may do a meet and greet for that. But that reminds me, for anybody here in the Los Angeles area, on next Thursday, I will be at the Tequila X show up in Los Angeles. So if you want to say hi or whatever, come by and go to the show. They have a lot of junk tequila there, but they have some good brands there. But I will be there. I've been asked to show up and help some brands. So I will be there at the Tequila X show a week from today in Los Angeles. So if you want to check it out, you can Google Tequila X show. They have some really good Mexican food trucks. They're going to be there, and Mexican artists that are showing their art, and they have a bunch of tequila brands, and then they have a cigar vendor too. So they'll have stogies there as well. Should be a fun event. But unfortunately, most of the tequila there is like not the good stuff. There's some good brands that'll be there, but not a whole lot. But should be a fun show. I'll be there doing some content and talking with some of the people there. They want to say hi and stuff, so I'll be there for that. You were just laughing at the use of the word duty. Oh, okay. Yeah. Duty is what you pay when you come into the border. The U.S. charges you a duty over what you're allowed. By federal law, you're allowed 1 liter of liquor without paying a duty on it, and not a pink duty. But 1 liter. If you fly, then everything changes. Here in California, if you fly and you're coming to California, 60 liters. You're allowed 60 liters. That's a lot of tequila. I've come back with, but 60 liters you're allowed to bring back. You still have to pay duty on everything over a liter. So if you declare 60 liters, they're going to say, okay, well, how much are the bottles? How much is it worth? And they'll ask you how much it's worth. You give them a number, and then they'll charge you a duty, a tax on it. You have to pay a cashier when you come into the country. I've been lucky enough that they're like, hey, it's only going to be like $20. Don't worry about it. Go. And they're like, okay, thanks. And they let you go. But I have yet to pay a duty here in the U.S. when I'm bringing bottles back, and the most I ever brought back was 18 bottles once. I had to buy a whole new suitcase because I couldn't fit it in my suit. It was way too heavy. Because you try to keep it, for the airlines, you try to keep it below 50 pounds. Otherwise, they charge you extra, or they won't let you check your bag in. So, so that's some stuff you gotta be wary of. You could go crazy buying tequila there, and then you're like, okay, well, how do we get it back? And then, if you bring it back, are you gonna be able to keep it? That's a big issue too. I've known a lot of people that had their tequila confiscated at the border. It all depends too on how big of a jerk your customs and border protection agent is, as to whether they let you go through or not. Yeah, duty is usually about $2 to $3 a bottle. Exactly. It's not a whole lot. Yeah, it's not a whole lot at all. A lot of times they're like, if it's late or whatever, they're like, don't want to bother with it, and they'll just go like, okay, come on. But you want to declare it, because if you don't, they'll make your life miserable. If they're like, okay, you say, yeah, I'm bringing back 2 bottles, but you got like 12 of them in there, and then your suitcase comes out, and they're like, randomly picked you for running your suitcase through the scanner, and then they'll open it up and they'll go, okay, you said you only had 2 bottles. What is all this other stuff? And you're like, I don't know how it got there. Maybe somebody put it in a suitcase. I didn't know about it. And they're like, yeah, no. So I had it happen where I flew into the airport. It was 12 o'clock. They just, 12 o'clock at night in the morning, or whatever, 12 a.m. I just arrived from Mexico. I was going through the customs line, and this was a newer customs line. And I had probably 16 bottles of tequila in the suitcase, and they said, "Okay, well, how much are you bringing back?" And I go, "About 16 bottles." I go, "You can only bring 1 bottle back. We're gonna have to confiscate this stuff." I go, "That's not true. The state of California has an agreement with the TTB, the customs and stuff, that we can bring back up to 60 liters." And they go, 60 liters. So I printed out, because I knew there's a thing that they say in the Customs and Border Control, so know before you go, right? Do the research and know what you can bring back. And so I printed out a sheet that showed it. And the guy that I was with was a newer border agent. He's like, no, that's not true. We're going to confiscate all your tequila, and you're not going to be able to take it with you. And I go, that's baloney. Bring a supervisor. So I sat for an hour and a half by myself in an area of the airport going, okay, I mean, what are we going to do? What's going on? And the guy was like a total jerk to me. You're lucky we don't arrest you. You can't arrest me for this. You're lucky, you don't, we can put you in jail, but you can't put me in jail. Come on. You were allowed to bring this in. It's by the rules. And then the guy was threatening me with all kinds of stuff, just being a total and complete jerk. So then the supervisor comes by and goes, "Oh, Mr. Cherney, how are you? Good. How are you?" I got 16 bottles. I'm willing to pay whatever duties you have. I told you what I had. I declared it. And he's like, "Okay, yeah." He goes, in all honesty, our cashier's not here, but the duty would only be like $25-$30. So go ahead and go. Sorry for the inconvenience. After I waited for an hour and a half, I was like, ugh. I was so angry. I was like, you guys. But I said to the supervisor, you need to educate him on what the rules are here in California. Because his language was inappropriate to me, and I didn't appreciate it. And he's like, yeah, I'll talk to him about it. I was like, thank you. And then walked away. That was my first trip to Mexico. After that, I've been, I'm pretty well versed on what to do, how to get through it. So, Sarah says, thanks, hombre. I love the knowledge. I'll stay away from the numbers and just enjoy the versatility of it. Yeah, there you go. Wait till you get brave and try mezcal. Lots of tasting note rabbit holes. Yes. I can guide you through the mezcal jungle and get you so you develop the palate for it. Because if you dive straight into it, coming from tequila, and your palate's not been adjusted for it, you can get turned off on it real quick. But I can steer you towards some mezcals that I recommend. I'm doing that with some guys on the Discord right now. and let them try it, and then we'll get your flavor palette more fine-tuned and stuff, so you're kind of ready for it. Because with mezcal, when you jump into it, the smokiness is what really kind of sets some people off. But when you're not consuming a lot of something with even a little smoke in it, the smoke becomes more prevalent. But after you get acclimated to the smoke flavor, it kind of drops to the background, and you kind of lose the smoke. Even most of the time, because it's just a little bit most of the time, it moves to the background and instead it mixes with the flavors of the agave, and so you end up getting like tart flavor, tropical fruit, different kind of tasting notes and stuff that come from the different agave, and you don't really pick up the smoke anymore. And matter of fact, a lot of times people will try to go, yeah, I don't even taste smoke in this one, but it's got really nice, ripe berries and banana and tropical fruit like papaya and stuff like that. You get a lot of different flavor notes from these different agaves out there that come from different regions. You can get one agave from Durango and agave from Oaxaca, and they could be completely different flavor profiles because they're whole different terrains and different ways that they were grown and temperature zones and stuff like that. And that's one of the things too with grapes and stuff, right? For wines, you grow them in California or you grow it in Washington, two different climates. Well, it's really cold and stuff in Washington, and it's really more moist. It's where we have a desert scenario here and like Temecula. But Napa and stuff, it's got even whole different climate than Washington or Oregon. They're now growing some nice grapes for wine. And so that's where you see a lot of the differences in the grapes and stuff, and how the grapes grow and what kind of climate they like. Where agave, there's not that big of a difference between Los Altos and Valle. As a matter of fact, parts of the Valle are 3,000 feet above sea level. So it's still considered high altitude, even though it's the Valle. And so you'll find, like, if you go to Tequila and walk around and you like climb steps and stuff, you'll see yourself getting winded, because it is at a higher altitude. It's not at sea level. So it's not like a really bottom Valle. So when people say the lowlands, it's kind of incorrect to say lowlands, because it's not really a low altitude there. It's pretty high altitude. And even when you go like into other places that are considered the Valle too, like Amatitan, there's places in Amatitan that are higher altitude than some places in Los Altos. So if people get caught up on the highlands and lowlands and Valle and Los Altos, and it's, for me, I've just pretty much say it's just marketing stuff. I go by what the distillery produces now and what the flavor profiles are, versus not that I don't like Valle or I like Altos, different. So oh yeah, that Vago Ensemble, Curtis can tell you, if he's still, I don't know if he's on here anymore. I turned him onto the Vago Ensemble that we have from TBAC, and he loved it. He's like, yeah, no smoke, really interesting flavoring. He got the bubblegum note and stuff. He loves it. So yeah, that's one that I highly recommend. It's the TBAC Vago Ensemble is a great starter one. Really nice fruit notes to it, and it's delicious. I love it. And it's great for somebody that's just diving into mezcal, where you can see the different kind of flavor notes that you can get from a mezcal. And then I can direct you to some other brands and other ones that do stuff where it's not super smoky. And then when we get to the point where you're more acclimated to the smoke note, then we can start moving into some other stuff where it has a little more smoke, but it adds more complexity to the flavor profile. One of the things I think, that I think about tequila is the fact that because they use steam now and don't cook it, using heated lava rocks or fire, it's blanded it down a bit. I find that like for example, the La Luna Ancestral Tequiliana that we have, a lot more flavor than anything that any tequila producer has tried to do. Even with like Cerro de Luz, as far as like the flavor profile of it, it's extraordinary. The different flavor notes and stuff you get from it. And then if you even try the La Luna regular artisanal Tequiliana, it as well has more flavor notes than the than regular standard tequila. As a matter of fact, I have a bottle. I don't know if I don't think it's on the shelf. It might be in my closet or whatever. I have a bottle of a batch of La Luna that was done by Sergio Cruz. He went to Michoacan and did a batch of their Tequiliana and artisanal at the La Luna distillery with Salvador Chavez, and it was great. It had a really interesting bubblegum note to it. I enjoyed it quite a bit, and I know Sergio, when I talked to him about it, said he had a great time going there and doing that and learning about mezcal production from their mezcalero that's there. But then he taught him some stuff and working with Weber Blue that they didn't know, because they're mostly working with other agave like the Chino and stuff like that they do out of Michoacan, their area of Michoacan. So, yeah, there's some interesting. I'm going to do some more mezcal stuff as people are starting to get into it. We'll do more mezcal things as well. One of the things I'm working on doing is putting together a trip to visit a mezcal palenque, or they don't call them palenques in Durango though. It's venatas. So they have a big hacienda with a bunch of different venatas where they do different expressions and stuff there. So. But I'm going to work on trying to put together a trip where a group of us go out there and spend probably a week there at the distillery, and we'll stay at the hacienda and we help them make some mezcal brands, and I'll shoot some content and we'll learn from their mezcaleros and stuff, and it'll be fun. So if you're interested in doing that, the people that I will take are going to be members. So if you remember, then we can talk about bringing it on. But I have a really good relationship with this, with the owner of the brand, and we should have it should be a good time. You just have to pay for your travel to get out to Durango, and then of course you pay for your food and stuff while you're there as well, and then everything else we'll put you to work. You have to wear jeans, boots, like hiking boots and stuff, and clothes that you can work in, and not have to worry about ruining them if they get dirty, because I have a feeling we will get dirty, and we'll probably hang out, and kind of camp outside for a little bit, do some camping stuff, but then we'll stay indoors in the hacienda that they built. So that should be a fun trip. So I need to talk to Alejandro about setting that up and see if they're ready for us. They're building the hacienda right now out of bricks that they're making out of agave fiber. So that's going to be kind of cool too. So that'll be fun. So those of you that are interested, keep that in mind. And when you hear me talk about it, let me know if you want to come along, and I'll bring some people. Not a whole lot of people, but a few. And we should have some fun doing that. But then the only stipulation I'm going to make is that you stay out of the way when I'm filming. Unless I say it's okay, then you can, but I have a tendency of having people, when I take them to places, that while I'm trying to do content, they walk across the middle of the I'm filming, like, what are you, can you see I'm doing content here? Hey, Hombre, I think I'm hitting up the Tequila X event. Is there a promo code for the tickets that you... No, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know of any promo codes. No. But if I were you, I'd do the $75 one, though, and get the early entrance. That seems like the better deal. But I will be there. So if you're there, Ruben, make sure you say hi if you see me. Love to say hi and shake your hand. And then I'll introduce you to some people, too. You can introduce us, and you can try some different tequilas. But they have a bunch of the Cuervo and stuff like that there. So there's going to be some brands that are like, ugh. But the food trucks look good, and there's some good brands there. just if you do come, make sure you bring a designated driver with you, because we don't want anybody drinking and driving. You don't condone that at all. Be safe. So, what are some other things that we're watching? I got some reviews that I'm going to do this week. El Ateo, I told you about. Cosmico, I told you about. That one's going to be fun. I'm going to do a budget brand episode too coming up, so look for that one for those of you that like budget brands. I've got Espacial is supposed to be coming, so we got that one coming. We're going to do some barrel selections coming up too. I got some samples coming. We're going to do a Rebel cask from Siempre. So I'm waiting for those samples to come in. We'll just select one of those for the collective. That should be fun. Got some different whiskeys and bourbons that the barrels are coming from. So that's going to be a lot of fun doing that. Trying to think of what else. I think that pretty much sums it up. So I don't mind some smoke. I like a little scotch now and then. So far, the couple mezcals I've tried are more like burning rubber than wood or peat. Yeah, you got to find the right stuff. That's why I guide you. But you won't get that from that Vago Ensemble, the TBAC Vago Ensemble. You won't get that from that. You guys, don't forget to click the thumbs up if you're just coming to the channel, and also if you're not subscribed, if you're new, well, welcome, bienvenido. Love having you here, and love having you learning and listening. So click the subscribe button too. We'd love to have you become a subscriber. I'm going to start doing some stuff for the subscribers soon, where I'm going to start giving away stuff, samples, bottles, all kinds of stuff, even swag. I've got some little G4 glasses that I'm going to start giving away too. I got a bunch of them from when I did a thing with G4. I've been sitting in storage, and so now I'm going to be like, okay, we'll give those away too. So if you want a G4 Glencairn glass, subscribe, become a subscriber, and you can be picked to get some of those. So we want to build the subscribers up. Tell your friends, subscribe to the Hombre. We'll get you all the guys great information, and then try to get some tequilas in your hands as well too. So all about experiencing and sharing, right? That's what tequila is all about. So we're looking at an hour and a half now. Any other questions? Anything else you guys want to talk about? If not, we're going to go wrap this up because I want to get some lunch. I'm getting hungry. All right. It doesn't look like any more questions are popping up. So like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila, you guys. So keep following my reviews. Keep coming here asking questions and learning. And then you'll have the power, because knowledge is power. You'll have the power to know what to buy and what not to buy. That's what I'm here to do. I'm not an influencer. I don't get paid for reviews. I don't charge anything for reviews. I do them so I can tell you, so you guys can know what I like and what I recommend, and then make a decision whether it's something you want to take a risk on or not. And we go from there. And until next time, salute. Bye, guys. Life is too short to drink bad tequila, right? There you go. Salute.